Welcome to the road to Smarkdom.
Wow, good intro.
You weren't doing anything.
Well, I was about to, whatever. Okay, this
Alright.
week, what are we talking about, Sam?
We are talking about SummerSlam 2002. Triple H versus Shawn Michaels in an unsanctioned match.
Okay, good job.
Very unsanctioned.
Yes, I don't know what that means, but let's just kick it off with your thoughts before we get into the storylines or anything like that.
I was concerned. There was a lot of blood.
Yes.
And then I knew they were friends because we had watched the Undertaker Hell in a Cell. That was against Triple H. That was against Triple H with Shawn Michaels as a guest ref. So I knew they were friends. I knew the two of them were best buds. So I knew this must have been hard to play it up. Unless it was really easy because they're just playing up the friendship part a lot.
Nah, it wasn't. I mean, no, they were real friends. And before this, before he retired the first time, Shawn Michaels did. They were in a tag team called DX, and they were very edgy, salacious, talking about a lot of sucking dick and touching boobies, stuff like that.
Wow,
it was acceptable in the late '90s.
Those are two things that don't often go together.
What?
Sucking dick and touching boobies.
Oh, they're not sucking each other. They're telling the crowd to suck theirs. Anyways,
okay.
I'm not sorry for another day. Go on about your thoughts about the match.
The ref. This was one of the first times where I saw a ref like fight back. He was yelling at Triple H. He was pushing. He was shoving. Triple H backed down in what I assume was fake fear, but he looked kind of afraid at one point.
What point was that? I don't remember that.
Well, not afraid. He looked defensive, I guess I should say.
Okay.
But he backed down more than I was like, okay, he's just gonna choke slam the ref, and that's gonna be the end of that.
It might be him being defensive. I mean, I forget exactly when, but it could be him like, yeah, maybe I should stop. I'm really fucking them up. But then again.
But then he continued.
Yeah.
And I think that was before he actually made it worse. Because I think that was before some of his stronger hits.
Yeah. There was a lot of spots where he used weapons. I remember this was the one that really like made me just like my blood curl, whatever that saying is when he got the chair, like where you got it in the position where you're gonna sit on it. But he sidewalk slammed his back into the side of it, and you could see all the broken, like the chairs all mangled now, and all that. That a lot of good brutal stuff when Shawn Michaels came off the top rope to the outside with the elbow. Came off the top of the ladder. Yeah, that was the final bit. Elbowed him off the top of the ladder in the corner. Yeah, he tried to pin him, kicked out of it, and then like they had like a little exchange where he rode him up, kind of like in the bridge, and won that way. But the story, like at the time, everyone knew that he was coming off a back injury 4 years before, because in 1998. It was Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker, and he was in a casket match. I told you this before the match, but Shawn Michaels' back fell into the edge of the casket, broke his back. He retired, missed a lot of the high point of what they call the Attitude Era. It was very high point in wrestling. A lot of big stars like The Rock and Stone Cold. So he missed that, came back right when that ended, basically. And it was all because of his back, and we all missed him. So when he come back, and Triple H wants to do a non-sanctioned match where he's targeting his back with furniture and household, like
literally everything.
Yes, with stuff that you like use to go paint your house with, and it was just a brutal match, and everyone's like, I know this is fake, but I don't want to watch because this is horrible because he's like. It's just an injured back, and it got me. I mean, I was invested. I kind of loved the match. The second time I watched it, didn't resonate as much, but it was still good. I don't know. A lot of blood, though. A lot of blood.
Yeah, a lot of blood.
It was back in the days where Vince McMahon was okay with blood. I don't know why he's not now. I mean,
because kids.
But kids were always kids started watching before blood stopped, though.
That reminds me of another problem I have with that entire show.
Why?
That whole SummerSlam. Well, first off, the security wall,
Yeah.
they're right there.
Yeah.
The fans are right there.
Mm-hmm.
Triple H is bleeding. Like, he's got a cut on top of his head, like above his eye. There's blood everywhere. He looks like Kane in a mask almost. And there's one kid in particular in the front row, like reaching out. I'm like, this kid shouldn't be here. This is not a family show. And I think it was Trish Stratus or something did something right after with some executive, and I'm like, this is not family friendly. Don't take your kids to this. This is way too violent, way too sexual. Don't bring 8-year-olds to these things.
Man, you're right. But there have been worse in terms of the.
I know there's been worse.
In terms of blood, I remember watching. They had another podcast that went back and talked about a pay-per-view called Starrcade '85, and I wanted to go watch it too because I could be in on it. And literally every match had obscene amounts of blood. And one guy, the guy I talked about on the first episode, Abdullah Butcher, had Hep C. And he was there because he was all over the 80s, bleeding over everyone he could see. And surprisingly, only one person said they got Hep C from him. But
that's nice.
That's just nice. Happy.
Gotta love those odds.
I love those odds. Out of 500 people, only one person said they had it. But anyway, it was disgusting, and people were like, it was a bunch, instead of like having a bunch of young people or a bunch of like young boys or like teenagers and stuff, it was a bunch of like middle-aged women and men. Poor old ladies, don't know what they're watching.
I mean, hey, if I were interested in men, seeing Triple H and seeing a bunch of very fit men running around shirtless.
Back in the 80s, they weren't very fit.
Oh yeah, you're right. It was the 80s. Yeah, no, I get it.
It was a bunch of people that you would see in a bar, and they basically just took their shirt off and started fighting, type stuff.
That's just not.
Yeah, but I guess it made it more authentic because it's more like people brawling, not trained wrestlers.
Yeah, they're not pulling their punches because they aren't trained to.
Yeah.
They're just a bunch of wild animals, like actual degenerate animals.
And like every match ended in like 8 minutes, and that was like going long for them. And nowadays we expect these 40-minute masterpiece main events.
It's a 35-minute fight.
Yes, it was way longer than you would expect it to be for a guy that's coming out of retirement.
Yeah.
He's like, he didn't lose a single step in those 4 years. I mean, honestly, he stayed phenomenal shape. I mean, he's a great athlete.
He didn't look it though.
What do you mean?
He looked like he kind of had a bit of a dad bod. I mean, he was more in shape than most people, but he didn't have like the 6-pack and like the huge packs. He wasn't like John Cena built. He just looked like really fit.
Yeah.
Which made it better.
It
felt a little better for me.
He was always like, he wasn't like buff. He was always like, just a svelte man. He was muscular, lean. That's the word.
Yeah,
lean. He he at one point he kind of like WWE mid-90s said, we want big wrestlers, and he got a little bit bigger, but he never got too like John Cena big. That's just cartoonishly big.
Because it's kind of hard to be called the Heartbreak Kid when you don't look smooth, when you look more brutish than smooth.
Yeah.
So it worked.
He always looked like he's never, to me, he was never like particularly handsome.
No, I wouldn't say that either.
But I mean, in the 90s, early 90s, beauty was different back then.
He does know how to put on a show. I mean, he has charisma. It's just not physical.
Yeah.
It doesn't manifest in a physical attractiveness.
How'd you feel about him selling? Did you feel like at some points he oversold the fact that he's taking damage?
I couldn't really tell what was. I couldn't exactly differentiate like what was selling and what was like a genuine response to. It was clear enough where there weren't points where I'm like, okay, this is a bit much. Dial back the acting. So I guess no. I didn't.
So I guess he told a great line there, because later on, some of his matches got really egregious. Like one versus Hulk Hogan 2005, it will probably make you laugh out loud how cartoonish it was. Like he takes a punch, does like a backflip, rolls out of the ring, gets up again, like starts throwing punches at nothing, falls back down, starts bleeding. This is cartoonish, but he does. You could tell he just loves to perform, And even to this day, you hear him in interviews. I want to go back out there, but I probably shouldn't because I'm technically retired. But always in wrestling, you come back from retirement. Like Terry Funk came back from multiple retirement matches.
Yeah.
And I watched a documentary called, I forgot what it's called, Beyond the Mat. It's very sad. I watched like 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, I just want to blow my brains out because it's just so depressing. But it's like he was hyping up his retirement match so much to the point, this is gonna be the last one. Get everyone here in Amarillo, get them in the auditorium or arena or whatever. This is my last one. So he was a hero in Amarillo, and ended up not being his last one. Like 2 years later, he came back. I'm like, oh, he kind of made ruin that. I mean, he didn't lie. He had all the intention of ruining retirement because he had no ligaments in his knees. His knees, it was just terrible. Anyways, finish this matchup. Final thoughts about it.
Final thoughts. There were a couple of hits that I thought were like that did not connect, and there's no way your body would react to a hit like that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen that in every match, so I didn't notice it as I didn't think of it as like overselling in this one. It just felt like normal wrestling to me.
Mm-hmm.
But they both put on a good show.
Mm-hmm.
Shawn Michaels was way more. He interacted with the crowd way more, which I guess is part of his character.
Yeah.
And Jim Ross, great announcer. You're right. He makes everything so much better.
Yes. He always was great at certain points. He always, his voice, his cadence, his volume, his vocabulary always matched the importance of what he was calling. If he's watching a person, obviously, like a match that's not important, or somebody like that's really not supposed to win, losing, you're like, you know what? He has the right volume, saying, well, he didn't really have much of a chance there, or something like that. He matched everything with the right points. And when you got to the main event, you building up to that, he gets more louder, he gets more intense, just like the matches. And we're kind of missing that today, in at least WWE, in that the intensity is kind of always the same.
But Michael Cole
is good, but he gets over scripted, and apparently that he has a microphone in his ear, and Vince McMahon is constantly telling him stuff to say, like ad reads, and making sure he tells a funny joke, and it's just not. Just make it organic. Like we could, like commentating. When you're talented, you have the voice, you have the vernacular, it could come to you very easily because you're reacting to what's given to you. Now you have to come in with a script, and that kind of takes the whole point away from being play-by-play.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's all. I mean, as we watch more and more, we'll have different commentators, and you'll find out what you really like. But JR is probably the best there ever was, because he's the perfect wrestling announcer. He tried doing when the XFL was a thing. He did the XFL commentary. That was cool too because wrestling's kind of like football, except football is a lot slower paced.
Yeah.
But XFL was very hard hitting. He was like, when he gets intense to those hard hits, like people getting killed on XFL because that's what's happening. It kind of matched. I kind of enjoyed it. I want to watch more XFL just because of him commentating on it, because XFL football was shitty.
Yeah.
What do you want to watch next though?
Are we still doing the like All-Star thing?
You could do whatever you want. I'll give it to you. Or you can just throw it over to me, I'll give you something.
Give me something with Neville.
Neville?
Neville.
Oh my god, Neville was fucking fantastic, alright.
Oh good, I thought you were going to be like, oh my god, he's terrible. He has no good matches ever.
Right now, he's on a run where he's, what people would call a heel. I just call it, a bad guy or whatever, a villain. And he's fantastic right now. Before, he didn't really have much of a character. He was just a guy. His thing was literally, he's the man that gravity forgot, which, applies to him because he can jump really high in the air.
He does a lot
of athletic moves. And he's not just a high flyer, though. He has, like, a very, very disciplined, math-based style.
That's good.
So he can basically do anything, except they won't let him do everything because he's, like, 5'11", and he can't be dominating people. I mean, I would buy it because he's fucking jacked.
That's 2 inches on me.
Yeah. But he's like super thicker and has like monster arms. Anyways, he's in the cruiserweight division now.
Cool.
And he's a cruiserweight champion. Had a bunch of really good matches. And I guess the one that really stood out to me would be Neville versus a man named Jack Gallagher. He's a British wrestler, and normally he's kind of like cartoony. He brings an umbrella to the ring and calls it William III and like plays with it during the match and stuff.
Jesus.
But that match he was serious, and his signature move is that he headbutts people, and it's like it makes this really loud conk noise.
Just like a run-of-the-mill headbutt?
Well, is a headbutt ever run the mill? I mean, you're ramming your head into somebody else's.
Yeah, but I mean, if you just like boom,
like
they can be built up and like.
It comes out of nowhere. Like he's like usually somebody ran at him and he does like, oh.
Okay.
And his hair kind of flops around, makes it look great, and makes a great noise. But yeah, he's great. So that was at Fastlane 2017. Happened this year.
Ooh.
Yeah. The other matches on the card were Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman.
I have no desire to ever see that.
Ooh. I might punish you on these days and give you Roman Reigns versus Triple H at WrestleMania, the main event of WrestleMania.
That doesn't sound too bad.
Well, Triple H.
Wait, when was this?
It was 2016, April 2016.
Triple H is like 50.
Yeah. I mean, he's still just.
And he's got the body of a 60-year-old.
Not anymore.
He's taking the beating of a 60-year-old.
Yeah. I mean, he took the beating.
And Roman Reigns is just Roman Reigns.
It was.
He just sounds uninteresting to me.
I mean, he is uninteresting because he always hints at being interesting, and he's like sometimes he's cocky. He's like, I'm not a bad guy. I'm not a good guy. I'm just the guy. And I'm like, you're being a cocky asshole. Just run with that, and everyone will hate you. But a good type of hate, like not like you're an uninteresting character hate. It's like
I hate to love him, love to hate him kind of thing. Or?
Well, right now it's I hate you because you're taking up other people's spot. You're not a good character.
Yeah.
It would be like he's an actual villain. He's not a villain. He's an obstacle for everyone else. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna watch. Jack Gallagher versus Neville, Cruiserweight Championship on the line. Great match, went about 22 minutes. No blood, nothing. Just really good wrestling.
Good.
All right.
Don't want to bleed for the children.
Don't want to bleed all the children either.
What?
Gee. Anyways,
it's not Hep C.
What? No, go on.
I was gonna say it's not Hep C if they're kids. But I don't know where I was going with that.
It's not Hep C if you don't know. Okay, goodbye.